Alright guys, I have a guide for you. I have an Achilles guide. Shout out to Faker Playmate for giving me this idea. Also, I break down Achilles' abilities. I break down a build for Achilles, my suggestions on other items you would want to build on Achilles. So if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the end. Alright guys, so let's talk about Achilles' passive. Achilles' passive is called Gift of the Gods. So basically, I'll give you the rundown. When he has his armor on, he gets extra health and protections. Protections also mean physical and magical. So at level 20, you get an extra 45 physical protections. In-game at level 20, you get 325 health. Of course, this scales with your level, so you'll be weaker in the beginning of the game. But
get in there and mix it up.
When you take off his armor, you're lighter. You get a 6% movement speed buff and 43 physical power. So that's what Achilles' passive does, and we could get into the rest of his abilities, so let's do so. Alright guys, let's talk about Achilles 1. Achilles 1 is a cone attack that can attack several people, but if you get close enough and you hit the ability, it stuns for 1 second. It's nothing too special, but it hits hard, and this is going to be the first ability you level to max. Alright guys, let's talk about Achilles 2. There's a lot going on here. It's a self buff. You heal yourself, you get heals from your abilities that you use, you also get physical power, protections, and crowd control reductions. That's a ton of stuff. Alright, now if you use this and your 1 or any other abilities that do damage, you get HP back. So it's pretty useful if you're low and you 2 and then 1 minions. Alright guys, let's talk about Achilles 3. Achilles 3 has 2 parts. The first part is the dash. You could dash forward, and then it's a line attack. The line attack, if you hit the line attack, you get the dash without any cooldowns whatsoever. And as you see, there's like a little buff, and it's just saying that I could use the ability again. Now, the cool thing about Achilles' ability is that you could use the dash and then any of his other abilities, but you have to make sure you use it again. But once you use it for the second time, it goes on cooldown. So this is a good way to go in, injure an enemy, and then get out if you really needed to. Alright guys, let's talk about Achilles' most strongest ability, and that's his ultimate. It's an execute. You could straight up kill the enemy team if they're below 30% HP. Now if you hit the ability with the execute, you get to use the ability again, and you could use it up to 5 times. Now that comes with a cost. You take 5% more damage, stacking up to 5 times, so that's 25% if you hit it 5 times in a row. But you get to straight up kill their team, and it's pretty strong. This is what it looks like, and if you're like, oh no, how do I know what 30% HP and below looks like? Don't worry. The game makes it easy for you, and there'll be a big red pulsating mark. Now, enemy teammates will stand in front of your ultimate and eat it if they're low, so just keep that in mind. Try to get right on top of them where they can't escape. I think that's the best way to really use Achilles' ultimate, is to be right in their face where a teammate couldn't get in front of you and try to eat the ultimate to stop the execute. Once again, I forgot to put in the leveling, so I'll do it now. So you want to level your 1 to max, your 2 to max next, any points you could put into your ultimate, and then your 3 last, because your 3 doesn't do that much damage, but it's useful. But that's what you should level. You should level your 1, 2, any points you can put into your ultimate, then your 3. Alright guys, let's talk about the Achilles build. The Achilles is a very versatile character. Achilles is super versatile. He has the ability to put on and take off his armor, and that's extremely powerful, giving him protections or just damage. So whatever you really need, I'm going to give you strong items. This is less of a build, more of a collection of very strong items that you could just put on your character, whatever you really want. I say Warrior X starter item, sustain the ability you use, it scales with your level, you get HP back, and then it gives you mana. You could upgrade this into Sundering Axe, which slaps taking your protections, the enemy's protections, the enemy's HP, and then giving you HP back. I don't know exactly how that works, but I mean, it works. That's all you need to know.
How does this
Breastplate
make
of
my
Valor.
biceps look?
Breastplate of Valor gives you the mana you need, the cooldowns you want, and some protections. Now, I say Breastplate of Determination over Breastplate of Vigilance, just because Breastplate of Determination is just so useful. A Breastplate of Vigilance only activates after your ultimate's used, and then it goes on a 45-second cooldown timer. This is active all the time. You're getting hit with abilities. And then it's just super powerful on top of that. So basically, if you get hit by physical or magical abilities, you get both type of protections. You get 5 of whatever ability you're hit with. Then it stacks up 4 times. So you could get 20 protections of both physical and magical. Then, once it hits a point where it's fully stacked on both, let me move around a little. You get a 20% boost of movement speed, and then it doubles your protections for 8 seconds. So that's pretty powerful. Jotun's Vigor gives you the damage, mana, cooldowns,
exotic.
penetration. Also, Jotun's Vigor gives you physical ability lifesteal for 5 seconds for 30%. You also get 10% movement speed anytime you get low, every 15 seconds. So, on top of Achilles 2, which is a insane heal, you 2-1 minions with this procced, your entire HP bar comes back. It's pretty ridiculous. I say Shifter's Shield.
I'll go with the
Shifter
cleansing
Shield
look.
slaps, okay? Shifter Shield's whatever you need it to be. When you're above 75 health, you get 30 physical power. But when you get lower than 75 HP, you gain 40 protections. That means 40 protections magical and 40 protections physical. That's 40 of both. That is like building an item in each category. This is pretty nuts. Very useful. It can make you super tanky when you get low. Alright guys, let's talk about Talisman of Energy. Now, Talisman of Energy is a very strong item. Now, you could always build Heartwood of Amulet, upgrade that bad boy into Heartwood of Stronghold. You could also do Pestilence, Bulwark of Hope. Whatever you really want. Talisman of Energy is one of my favorites, though. And this is why. Anything that dies around you, you get a kill or assist. This means minions. This means jungle buffs. This means objectives. This means anything. You will get a stack of energy. And that is 2% movement speed, attack speed, and 10 MP5 per stack. Now that lasts 10 seconds, it can stack up 6 times. It's pretty nuts. You could legit, you and your team can chase down the entire enemy team because you have a extra 12% movement speed because of this item. This is a very useful item.
How does this make my
Mystical
biceps
Mail.
look?
Do I even have to explain this item? Mystical Mail slaps. Mystical Mail is awesome because you do damage for free. I've also... It scales with your level, so that's more damage for free the higher level you are. Also, you could get Berserker Shield if you want more attack speed. When you get low, you do more damage and more attack speed. So, I mean, Berserker Shield's very viable. You could put this in here. Void Shield's very viable. Magi's Cloak is really great for if you keep on getting stunned, rooted, or knocked up or something. Any hard crowd control. This will make you immune for 1 second, and it's pretty nuts. This could straight up eat. This is like using purifications. This is like using the relic purification beads for an item. So Magi's Cloak slaps. It's a great item. Now Mantle of Discord also slaps, giving you 60 physical protections, 60 magical protections, also 10% cooldowns. Now that, if that wasn't enough for you, if you get below 30%, you send a shockwave around you that stuns people for 1 second. You become immune to crowd controls for 1 second. This cannot be triggered more than once every 90 seconds. That is insane. I've had points where Mantle of Discord, I was surrounded by the entire team. I was ganked, 5-man ganked. They all get stunned. I jump out, blink away, and I survive. This item gives you a ton of protections of both magical, physical, and cooldowns. This item slaps. Like, by far, this is one of my favorite items. There's also, like, Witchblade. Witchblade slaps. Here, let me search that bad boy up for you. Witchblade is a aura that reduces attack speed by 25%. If you struggle with hunters or their team relies on attack speed, this slaps. This slaps. This slaps. I cannot say it enough. Items and Smite are very situational. And knowing the difference and knowing the items will provide you with that victory. Having that flexibility to change up your build will give you that edge. But I think I've said enough. If you guys like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.